Hello, my name is Aidenn and welcome to another video here on City Sophisticate. If you are new here, welcome, and if you have been here before, thank you for returning. So today's video is about dressing the pear-shaped body for spring and summer. And I have created previous videos on the 4 main body shapes, and I will link them in the description box below in case you missed them or in case you'd like a refresher. So before we start, I will recap the 4 main body shapes. The first one is the rectangle, and this is where your shoulders, your bust, your waist, and your hips are roughly the same proportion. The second is an apple body shape, sometimes also could be referred to as the inverted triangle. But essentially this is where your upper body, so your shoulders and your torso, are broader than your waist and your hips. The third is the pear-shaped body, and this is where you tend to be broader in your hips and your thigh area compared to your shoulders and your bust, and you have a defined waist. And finally, the hourglass shape is where the shoulders and the hips are directly proportional and you have a well-defined waist. So I'd first like to start off with some sort of universal guidelines for dressing regardless of your body shape. So the first one is looking to get some balance and proportion. And basically that would be getting balance between your shoulder, your bust, your waist, and your hips. The second one is drawing the eye with the use of lines, and that can mean a couple of things. Number one, it can actually be the actual silhouette of the garment, and number two, it can actually be lines on the actual garment that draw the eye where you want it to. And the third is the use of color and pattern. So pattern and color can really draw the eye in, like bright colors, light colors, patterns can draw the eye in. They can also confuse the eye. So if there's a diffused pattern all over the garment, it doesn't quite focus on one particular area, particularly if that's not an area that you want to, draw too much attention to. But also looking at using darker colors where you want to de-emphasize an area and lighter colors where you want to emphasize an area. So before I jump into the specifics of dressing a pear-shaped body, I want to just let you know that towards the end of the video, I will be offering one more bonus tip that I, as a pear-shaped body, live by, and I'm sure that you're going to love it too. So let's talk about dressing the pear-shaped body. And for your information, I am a pear shape, and we'll try and insert some picture examples as we go through the video. So the key here really is to emphasize the upper body, and I'll be showing you how to do that, and emphasizing your waist, and then de-emphasizing sort of your midsection, your thighs, and your hips. So there are a couple of ways to do this. The one way to achieve this is by creating volume on your upper half to balance out the volume on your lower half. And the other way is to bring attention to the upper body in different ways via, interesting and flattering necklines, ruffle details, ruching, etc., so that they draw the eye upward. So let's look at some examples of tops that would work for the pear shape. So the first few examples are really about sort of adding volume to the upper half. And a few different ways to do this. Number one is through this t-shirt, this graphic t-shirt by Anina Bing. It has a little bit of a boxy feel to it, so it adds that bit of volume proportion to the upper half. The second way is through this lovely, colorful, and patterned shirt by Ted Baker. And the brightness of the colors, the interest in the pattern definitely bring the eye upward. And then the third example is this Ted Baker white, very simple blouse, but it's got the lace details at the shoulders, which bring the eyes outward to the shoulders and make them appear broader. So the next few examples of tops are a bit closer fitted to the body, but they have interesting details and necklines that are perfect for a pear-shaped body. So the first is this lovely yellow draped crossover top, and the lovely bright yellow, first of all, definitely brings the eye upward, and then it's got the collar detail and it's got the draping, all that add lovely emphasis to the upper body. The next example is this beautiful jersey blush bodysuit, and the way that it crisscrosses across the front of the body and then it emphasizes at the waistline is just absolutely perfect. And the third example is this gorgeous crimson scallop detail top. And the color itself is really eye-catching. And then when you have this scallop detailed overlay around the neckline area and across the top of the blouse, it just really brings the eye up and does wonderful things for a pear-shaped body. So now let's move to the bottom half of the body, and let's start with pants and shorts. So essentially what we want to do is we want to draw attention away from our midsection, our hips, and our thighs. And one of the best ways to do that is with a streamlined silhouette or outline on the bottom half of your body. So that would be straight line pants, wide leg pants, flared pants. These all sort of bring a very streamlined look all the way down your leg, and they don't emphasize the part of your body that you don't want to call unnecessary attention to. And then when we think about colors, darker colors tend to be more favorable to lighter colors and less fussy details such as, streamlined pockets and things like that. Again, don't call unnecessarily attention to that area that you may not want to have it. So if you do decide that you want to wear like a skinny jean or something like that, you can actually do that by maybe going up one size so that you have a little bit more room in the hips and the thigh area and it's not too clingy, but it may cause to have a little gap in the waist, which can easily be remedied by a tailor by taking that in a little bit. And when it comes to shorts, I would suggest that the same guidelines apply, that you want to keep them fairly simple, fairly unfussy. And what I actually do sometimes, so this is a pair of shorts that I recently bought. I tend to favor neutral colors and darker colors when it comes to shorts. But what I did was to add length, I actually had my tailor just add in a false hem right there. So I got about an extra inch of length, which then also helps cover that area of my body a little bit better. So here are a couple of examples from my own wardrobe. In the first one, I'm wearing this nice black top with an interesting neckline that brings the eye up. And then I have a wide leg trouser, which basically has a streamlined effect on my leg all the way down to the floor. And then in the second example, this pair of shorts, they are dark hue in the navy blue. And again, the length is appropriate where I feel comfortable that it's covering all the parts of my body that I want to cover. So let's go to a couple of examples, and if I haven't mentioned it before, I will link these items in the description box below. So the first one is a pair of lovely neutral trousers from Anine Bing, and what I really like about these is they've got the nice wide belt at the waistline that cinches you in, and then they have room in the hip and thigh area, and it goes down to sort of a slim, relaxed fit down the leg. The second is a beautiful pair of linen trousers from Aritzia, and these are a wide leg, and again they just give you that lovely long length of silhouette down the lower part of your body. And the third is this pair of H&M wide leg jeans, which are hugely popular right now and super comfortable. So looking at some shorts, the first one are the pair that I was actually showing you earlier. They are from Saraaa. They're a beautiful neutral shade, no fuss, very simple, very easy to wear. The second is a lovely pair of belted flowy shorts, and they come in a couple of different colors, and the fabric is just easy, it just skims over your body. And then the third is from Ted Baker, and it's a denim pair, and I like the nice wide silhouette. And they do have some small square pockets that are not overly big or overly in your face, and so they make a nice accent detail. So when it comes to skirts, it is usually best to avoid anything that is too clingy on the midsection and the thighs and the hips, or is too short. Rather, it's probably more appropriate and more pleasing to the eye to go with something that just skims over the body, maybe a little bit of an A-line, or a flared skirt, or even a pleated skirt. So spring and summer are the perfect time to be wearing skirts, and here are a couple of my favorites. One is this wrap over a midi skirt, and it's got the lovely floral detail on it. And the second is this pleated skirt. And pleated skirts are just really so versatile, they're so forgiving, and this one has this lovely white and green fresh print on it. Now let's talk about dresses. So the same kind of guiding principles apply in that we want to emphasize the upper part of our body. We want to make sure that we're not overly emphasizing our midsection, thighs and hips, and that we have silhouettes that possibly gently flare out and not too short. So the first example I'd like to share with you is this lovely leather dress. And what I absolutely love about it is that, first of all, it's got a nice fitted top and a belt that cinches you in. It's right on Pear style that comes right under the bust line, and then it gently flares out. The second dress is this lovely midi multi-way dress, and it brings attention to the upper part of the body and can be wrapped in many different ways. And then the bottom just gently skims over the body. This next dress is probably one of my favorites. It's a lovely white cotton poplin dress with a V-neck and a ruffle detail that goes across the shoulders and the neckline. And then it cinches you in at the waist with this gorgeous belt and then flares out to a midi length. This next dress is a beautiful dress for any summer occasions that you may have coming up. And it's a lovely one shoulder ruffle dress with a wrap over style in a beautiful yellow and orange all over print. And it's just absolutely perfect for a garden party or a wedding if you're attending anything like that this summer. It's such a fun dress. This last dress is a lovely nod to summer. It's a white broderie anglaise dress with a long sleeve and a crossover at the neckline, and a gently flaring skirt at a beautiful length. Now let's talk about bathing suits, a category that can cause many of us angst, including myself. And so the guidelines will be similar to what we've talked about before, really bringing attention to and emphasizing the upper part of your body and de-emphasizing the lower part. And in terms of coverage on the bottom, I would definitely suggest going with a moderate to full coverage bikini, avoiding the thongs or the Brazilian styles. But high-waisted styles are absolutely beautiful and they are very popular. So this first example is a beautiful pale blue one piece with the tie knot detail at the bust line and the nice coverage around the midsection. This next example is a gorgeous bikini, and it has a lovely deep V at the neckline, lovely ruffle shoulder detail, and then the high-waisted bikini bottom to provide that coverage. This is a beautiful rust-colored bikini with a bandeau top that has the lovely drawstring ruching detail and a simple bikini bottom. And finally, a bikini in summer bloom. The top is this beautiful turquoise and pink floral design with a crossover detail, and the bottom is a gorgeous teal blue. And the last category that I want to talk about with pear-shaped bodies is shapewear. And shapewear can become your best friend. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples and link them in the description box below. So the first is from Wackhole, and it's called the Sexy Shaping Brief. And it goes to show that shapewear does not have to be boring. And the second one is a basic, simple shaping brief. And really the function of these pieces are to just smooth over your midsection and keep you all tucked in nicely, and also not have any visible panty line. And then the last is this biker short style. So that gives you the coverage not just over the midsection and the hips, but also over the thigh area. So I hope that you found this video informative and useful if you are a pear body shape, in terms of providing you with some guidelines and inspiration for spring and summer dressing. I will also be creating videos for the other body shapes in the future. If you do have any questions about dressing the pear body shape, please do put them in the comments section below, and also any topics that you would like me to cover off in future videos. If you would like to avail yourself of personal styling services to dress your particular body shape, I would be happy to help you, and I have my contact information below. So thank you for joining me today, and if you did enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up, and also share it with others that you think might find this information useful and interesting. I'd also appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel and turning on the notification bell so that you are advised when I do upload new videos. And finally, you can find me on Instagram at @ZubinCitySophisticate. Thank you so much and have a great day.